Sungman-Lee, the president, decided to have the constitution first. So there was election, and after the first election, the first 조금 이따 찍어야 되겠구나. 여기서 자동차로 좀. 오늘 이 간담회에서는 아주 특이한 문제를 토의하게 됩니다. 어떤 방법으로 청년의 지지층을 확보할 수 있느냐, 이런 문제를 가지고 저희들이 토론하게 되는데요. 우리 대한민국과 또 독일의 이런 정치 문화를 비교해 보면서 우리 대한민국의 청년들을 위한 정치 문화를 어떻게 하면 개선해 나갈 것인가 라는 것을 독일의 정치인들과 함께 토론해 보겠습니다. 특히 최근에 이제 저희들이 집권 여당이 된 이후에 어떻게 하면 저희 당이 우리 대한민국에서 청년들의 그런 속으로 뿌리를 내리겠는가, 이런 문제에서 독일의 청년들의 그런 독일 당들의 청년 조직에 대해서 저희들이 대단히 깊이 연구하고 있습니다. 청년들 간의 그런 의사소통은 어떻게 하는지, 세대 간의 인식 차이는 어떻게 극복하고, 젊은 이런 정치인들을 어떻게 총리와 같은 그런 이제 정치의 상층까지 올라갈 수 있는 상승의 사다리는 어떻게 마련하는지, 좀 이런 걸 저희 여러분들한테서 저희들이 많이 듣고자 합니다. 그러니까 한국이 자유롭고 민주주의적이고 자유선거한다 하는 걸 가령 동부독일 사람들은 서부독일에서 자유선거이고 자유투표라는 걸 동부독일 사람들은 촉보고 알지만 북한 사람들은 자유투표, 저게 어떻게 하는 건지 컨셉을 잘 모르고 그 프로세스도 모릅니다.
Also stellt sich mal vor, die ehemaligen Bürger, also Wahl gibt in den Westen und dann wissen die ungefähr, worum es geht. Aber die Nordkoreaner, sie können nicht mal sich vorstellen, worum es tatsächlich geht.
국회에 가서 만납시다.
Weil die müssen ja wissen, was im Westen los ist.
하지만 그래도 북한의 엘리트 정도는
Yes, you and me, let's go ahead so that they'll come and join us. This is our parliament. USB sticks of the films, some pamphlets, sometimes medicines, US dollars, whatever. Yeah. No, it's all right. Now my all activities are very public. So you asked very good questions. There are many reasons, but the main reason was that I used to be the North Korean diplomat. So professionally, my job was to travel or work between Pyongyang and London, or then Copenhagen or Stockholm. So in my profession of 30 years, I, always together with my family, switched from Pyongyang to London, from Pyongyang to Copenhagen, Stockholm. Even sometimes I toured Berlin with my boys. So I started to understand the democracy and the free world. But just understanding or getting some knowledge about the free world is not enough to make that kind of decision, because I was from elite, the group of North Korea. All my family members, my ancestors, they were actually true supporters of Kim family. But when my sons, I have two sons, when my sons started to grow up and when they are reaching the age of adult, they switched actually the Pyongyang to London. So 3 years they started in North Korean schools. And after 3 years, when I was dispatched to London, they go to British schools. After 3 years in British schools, they were back to Pyongyang. So my family was, it's a kind of, frequent switch from Europe. And when they are reached enough to make their own decisions, they think that North Korea is not a country which deserves them to return. So that's why, in order to give the freedom, and as a father, I cannot, force my children to go back to North Korea just, to take care of me or whatever. So as a father, I decided to respect my children's, the right of freedom, So that is one of the main cause of my defection. Yes. The liberation, Korea was liberated from Japan, and we need a constitution, government, parliament, all of these things. So Sungman Lee, the president, decided to have the constitution first. So there was election, and after the first election, the members of the parliamentarians started to write the first constitution of Korea. So at that time, I was told, according to the book, they copied a lot of things, actually from German constitution, Bavarian, the constitutions as well. So now these slogans and that is at the preface of the constitution, why, the purpose of the constitution, and he is the sorry, yes. As I mentioned in the afternoon, the session, even though our income almost reached one of economic 10, but actually the attendance of the ladies and young generations to the parliament is very much low, in my parliament. For instance, now actually around 17 to 18% of the ladies, the portion of the parliament. So if we are compared with the other OECD countries, still my country is one of the low. And as I mentioned about the attendance of the politics and to the parliament by the country, as I said, that the voters under the 40s in my country is even around 48%, while actually the attendance of the parliamentarians is very low, 6.8, So that's why one of the purpose of the discussions we had